Pastor Lindsay Williams, it's great to have you back on with us.
Thank you, Alex, for allowing me to be on InfoWars this morning at a time when the price of crude oil has remained below $50 a barrel, exactly as I was told by one of the individuals who knows everything that goes on behind closed doors with the elite. And I had the privilege of breaking this information on July the 28th, back on your program, and now it's taking place exactly like they said, because last week, OPEC financial oil ministers met, and afterwards they came out with a statement that, my goodness, it almost sent cold chills up and down my spine, because I'm seeing everything that the elite told me 6 months ago was going to take place exactly as they said. OPEC financial oil ministers said, within the past 4 months, OPEC oil-producing countries have lost $2.5 trillion. Now, folks, please, I beg of you, this is not billion. They said $2.5 trillion has been lost by OPEC oil-producing ministers.
And Lindsay Williams, let's explain. You said in July that it was going to drop from 147 when you made the announcement. It had been as high as 149 to below 50. That happened exactly as you said. They told you why they were doing this, to implode the world financial system so the bankers can criminally consolidate. They want a fire sale, and exactly what you said is now all over the news. The Saudis and other big oil producers were leveraged. They were in derivatives, just like the general public, and now they're in crisis, losing trillions.
They had it planned a year and a half, I know at least 6 months in advance. The elite of the world had every bit of this planned. You know, Alex, I just please let me punctuate to every person in your listening audience today. Folks, believe everything you are hearing Alex Jones say on his show every single day. I had the privilege of living with the elite of the world for 3 years' time. I won't go into that story this morning. You'll hear it some other place if you'd like. But please, everything Alex is saying is true. And then this individual said to me, and Alex, you'll remember me telling this on your show on July the 28th, I said, why are you doing this? And this individual, whom I'd not seen for 25 years, but he called me on the carpet, and he said, Chaplain Williams, we're doing this for the purpose of bankrupting the OPEC oil countries. And everybody said, no way in this world. That cannot possibly happen. Now, OPEC is no longer buying the T-bills issued by the Treasury of the United States of America. As of last week, they aren't showing up anymore because they have lost 3/4 of their income in 4 months' time. And now, Alex, the punchline, oh my goodness, the Federal Reserve announced last week for the first time in the history of the United States of America that the Federal Reserve, which is no more an agency of the federal government than Federal Express is, they said for the first time in history, we are going to begin buying T-bills. When I heard that, Alex, I was so startled. The average American thought, oh my gracious, what difference does this make? It makes all the difference in the world. Because now, the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world lost 3/4 of their income. They can't meet their own budgets. They aren't showing up to buy our T-bills, which pay off the interest on the national debt. And the Federal Reserve, for the first time in history, is having to try to save face for the American dollar by purchasing T-bills for the first time as of last week.
With fiat money that is extracted from us in taxes, that's the only value. So they're actually taking over the entire market, the buying and selling themselves. We get left holding the bill. This is unbelievable. And for those that don't understand, a lot of people are giggling, going, good, let's screw the Arabs, let's screw Venezuela. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is meant to implode the United States, and that's the main target, and that's exactly what they told you. This is going to wreck the United States.
9 months, 12 months from now, maximum 1 year from now, you are going to see a total collapse of the American dollar. Now, let me go into one or two other things I've never given on your show before, Alex, but I suspected this, and when this individual told me, here it's coming to pass. Put this down, tax shortfall. All right, let's go to the gas pump. Gasoline was $4 to $5 a gallon. Now gasoline is $1.50 to $2 a gallon. Do you realize that the federal government and every state in the United States of America has lost 3/4 of its tax revenue?
Because only the income tax goes to the Federal Reserve. It's the other taxes that actually run the government.
Yes, and here's the tax shortfall of 3/4. Now, usually taxes don't show up for 3 or 4 months because it takes that long for the states to get them in, to calculate them, put them on the books. And now you've got about 30 more days before this 3/4 tax shortfall shows up in the state ledgers and the federal government ledgers. Alex, we have got one of the most catastrophic revelations coming to the American people.
Stay there, Lindsay Williams. Lindsay Williams, stay there. What's going to happen when they're doing record spending but don't have the tax receipts? National sales tax, satellite tracker boxes in all cars to tax you. Nationalization of major companies. Lindsay Williams is our guest. Stay with us. And it burns. All right, let's go ahead and go back to Lindsay Williams. Okay, Lindsay, so gas receipts are way down. This domino effect continues, but the government is spending at record pace, stealing most of the money to the offshore banks, who then loan the money right back to us at interest. Please continue.
Oil-producing countries have lost 3/4 of their income in 4 months' time. $2.5 trillion has already been lost. Now, we go to the gas pump in the United States of America. We've gone from $4 to $5 a gallon to $1.50 a gallon. 30 days from now, the chickens are coming home to roost, Alex, and it is going to be so devastating. You think California, Michigan, other states are in trouble right now. You haven't seen anything until their ledgers show 3/4 of their income from the gas pump falling in the past 4 months' time. Now, this means roads, construction, maintenance, bridges, all of those things you ride on back and forth to work and take a trip on, the highways. They have lost 3/4 of their tax shortfall, with 3/4 of their income in 4 months' time. I mean, Alex, this is going to be so devastating to the American economy. You think that the housing problem was great. You think the banking problem is great. Just wait till the states to begin declaring bankruptcy. Now, this is not only the states, it's the federal government as well as the states. Alex, how do I say it to try to get people to understand that everything that the elite told me back in June, and I broke the story on your program in July, everything these people said has taken place exactly as I was told by one of them that is going to happen. Therefore, you can expect everything else that they have planned for the future to take place exactly the same way, just like you tell it on your program, Alex.
It's just mind-boggling. And I mean, Lindsay, you laid all this out, and exactly what you said came to pass. I watched the clip in Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, and the extras where Daniel Estelin says, I talked to 2 Bilderberg Group members that are our moles. This is 2006. We're in the bar. I'm interviewing him. And he's talking to Jim Tucker, and Jim's saying, okay, what do your sources say? And they said, well, they're going to pop the subprime mortgage to sucker everybody in to cause a global meltdown. But first, they're going to run fuel prices up to 150 to get everybody back into the stock market. And that was in 2006, and that happened just as he said. Because he was tied into the elite, you were tied into the top of the pyramid, and they really run things.
Dubai, beautiful 5-star city. Never been a city built like it on the face of the earth. The tallest skyscraper ever in the history of the world. Here it is. Last week I was on the phone. Well, naturally, because of rubbing shoulders with these people over the past 30, 35 years. I come across many people and keep in touch with them. An individual said to me, he said, Chaplain, I have the concrete contract for the country of Dubai. He said they just canceled the concrete contract that they have with us, with an American concrete company to provide them the concrete for Dubai. He said the city is shut down. Now, Alex, do you remember back on July the 28th, one of the things I asked this individual who had called me, I said, what is going to happen to the Arab countries? He said, well, first of all, they're going into bankruptcy. I said, now let me pin one of them down. That's the city of Dubai, that beautiful, new 5-star city. I said, what's going to happen to it? He said, it's going to become a ghost town. Alex, it has happened exactly like this individual told it. They had it planned months in advance, and now, as of last week, the country of Dubai has canceled its concrete contract with an American concrete company because they no longer have the funds to continue building on that beautiful 5-star city. And
well, listen, take New York. All these big skyscrapers are building there. They've just stopped building them.
For sure. All right. Now, may I give a solution on your program today?
Sure.
No, I mean, I'm not joking with you. This is not hearsay. I'm going to tell you where to go and get it. The United States Geological Service just issued this report the other day, and it was read before Congress by the Montana congressman. And, folks, I honestly am, I'm not joking with you now. There positively is a solution to everything that we've just talked about in the way of the falling gas prices, in the shortfalls, the Federal Reserve buying T-bills. We can do everything we need to do from our own soil because the U.S. Geological Service just issued western two-thirds of North Dakota, western South Dakota, extreme eastern Montana. You ready to write it down? I hope you have a pencil. Please, write this down. The Bakken, B-A-K-K-E-N.